In this video, I played on a grass court for the first time in 2024 to test out how hard it really is and to see how much I actually need to improve to play at Wimbledon. But in all seriousness, today I'm going to be competing against my old coach, Ashley Neves. You also know him as the tennis mentor. And unfortunately, due to there being no 25k ITF tournaments and me transitioning from clay courts to hard courts, there wasn't going to be any time this year for me to play any grass court events. I at least want to play on the grass once this year, so I phoned up Ashley, decided to play a tiebreak to 10 against him, and I was intrigued to see how I get on. So in this warm-up, I was really trying to just feel the ball. Now on these grass courts, the ball bounces everywhere, it stays low. It's really a unique surface. It feels spongy, it almost feels like you could just lie down on it, which is a really weird sensation. So in the warm-up, I'm just trying to kind of feel the ball, feel how the ball's moving, and think about the best tactics to try and win this tiebreak.
One of the things with the ball bounces is that the ball doesn't bounce, and the ball doesn't bounce well. Just an example. Landing on the same spot, so this is going to be fun.
So first things first, on the grass, the ball bounced like crazy.
Oh yeah, nice shot. Came through like a rocket.
And it was really hard almost to move into the right positions because it felt really weird, like it felt like you're on someone's carpet when you're moving around. I look a bit like a wooden character trying to move around, and the timing was really tough.
Those touch shots are so important. I want to make sure I'm executing those.
But Ashley was nice and aggressive and had a very good start.
Cannot miss that volley.
The wind's coming this way, so he's more aggressive. Why try go with the drop shot?
Get out.
For those of you that don't know, Ashley used to be my coach. Now, we worked together for a couple of months when I was playing, futures tournaments and stuff like that. Ashley also does a lot of work on socials and social media about, coaching, other stuff. On the topic of coaching, if you could coach one ATP player on the tour right now, who would it be and why?
Yannick. You probably knew I was going to say that. I think
Oh, that's a suspicion.
he is probably one of the most coachable guys on the tour. The way you see how he works with his team, with Darren Cahill. A lot of respect there. They work really well together. He knows that he still has things within his game that he can work on, even though he's currently world number one. However, I'd love to coach somebody slightly more difficult to work with, like maybe a Nick Kyrgios or a Corentin Moutet.
I don't know, would you?
No, probably not.
Obviously, you got to play with Yannick, an experience which I was not only happy to see, but I was also a little bit jealous, I can't lie. How was that experience? How did you find it? I know I've obviously seen the video, but what did that feel like?
I was extremely tight. So there was a small crowd of people. It was quite a secret event. It wasn't that made me tight. I just didn't want to shank a forehand in front of Yannick. We were pretty slow up and down the middle of the court, but you could still feel the weight of his shot, like so effortless. He was wearing his running shoes and just rolling it down the middle, but every ball was kicking up to shoulder height for me. I really regret not asking him to spank a few, to be honest, because I would love to feel that.
So 4-2 up, but now I'm up against the wind, which is going to be a very different story. See how it goes.
And so from here, it was time for a comeback. I definitely found out that the more we got through the tiebreak, the more I'd have to come to the net and play consistently good volleys to make sure that I was keeping these points as short as possible. And on that point, I literally completely slipped over, absolutely tanked the ball, so at least I made it, but I nearly took out Ashley in the process.
If you had to play Yannick Sinner on any surface of your choice, what surface would you play him on? And to try and ensure a victory, what scoreline would you have to start ahead to give yourself a chance that you think you'd win that match?
Okay, not because this surface suits me, but it would be the only surface that I would have any chance of winning a single point on. And it would be like the fastest wooden sports you can think of, those like slidey floors. Only because I have zero chance of winning a point against the guy. If I was playing on that surface, I would still have to be, I'm going to say 5-love up to win.
On serve?
On serve as well, please, yeah.
If you could build a dream player, forehand, backhand, serve and mentality, which attribute would you choose from which players?
I'm going to say Yannick's forehand.
Okay.
Zverev's backhand.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go Alcaraz for mentality. And what was the last one? Serve. Ubi.
Hurkacz.
Yeah.
I mean, the stats don't lie. He's probably one of the best servers on the tour. I don't think he shines as much as he should in terms of results. If he can get the other areas of his game to kind of near where they could be, especially on the grass, I think he could really do some damage.
As this match gets closer and closer, I really began to get nervous. We had just played a set for Ashley's channel, but I really did not want to lose this. And as you know, in a tiebreak, anything can happen.
I've never needed a first serve more. Yes! I thought he was getting there, then I thought he wasn't, then he was. He did well to make it. I had to still play the ball in. Get a first match point here, come on. What would be your go-to cheat meal after a long day of work or a really solid match?
I love a Thai.
Thai food.
Yeah, a masa man.
If you could give one piece of advice for players playing on a new surface.
Spend time on that surface before you play, like
Yeah, that
clearly.
makes sense.
But also, I think at the start of a match, be smart with how you plan your first couple of games.
Yeah.
Generally, I say make the rallies last a bit longer at the start of the match so you can feel your way into it. But on a surface like this, I think going straight into serve and volley, if you've got it in your game, is a good tactic.
But all in all, managed to win 11-9, a tight one in the end. I was pretty happy with how I played, but I definitely need a bit more time on the grass if I ever play Wimbledon.
I think in that tiebreak, it was a little bit messy. I was genuinely nervous towards the end. Like, the problem is, on this surface, you never really know what the ball's going to do, how you're going to perform. It's a little bit windy.
I also think the valuable thing from seeing a tiebreak being played is literally anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like, I felt at the start of that tiebreak, because it's just 10 points, felt like I had a chance.
Yeah.
When you start a match or a set, it's very, very different psychologically.
The other thing was when, Federer spoke his Dartmouth speech. Like, for any of you that haven't watched it, he talked about winning 80% of the matches in his career, but he wins 54% of points, 55% of points. In a tiebreak, 55% of points is like a 10-8. So when you think about it, over a match, winning 55% of points, it might be like a 6-4, 6-3, 6-2. Whereas in the tiebreak, that 10-8 makes a huge difference. Well, I appreciate coming down today. It was fun.
Great fun.
Hopefully, we can have a rematch next year on the grass. I'll be training. I'll be practicing. Hopefully, I'll get a bit more practice on it before this time next year.
And I'm going to be more ready as well.
Awesome. Cheers, Ash.